Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Stories with Kendi. In this episode, I'm going to talk about mental health in the society. I have guests with me, Halima. Hi Halima.
Hi.
Halima is married. She's our married visitor. Hi Victor.
Hi.
Hi Melvin.
Hi.
And hi Caroline.
Hi guys.
They are going to help me bring this conversation to life. What do you guys understand by the term mental health? Yani, mtu akikwambia ako na mental illness, what do you understand? Like, what do you understand?
Mental illness. Okay, for me, what I understand when mtu akisema mental health, probably inamaanisha it's your well-being of your mind, your thoughts, how do you process your thoughts, your emotions, connected to everything. So mtu akikwambia kona mental illness, I take it as if akona, either it can be a disorder, like a mental disorder or something, or it can be maybe based on behavior ama kitu kaa hiyo that results in some kind of the way they process their thoughts. So probably that's how I understand mental health or mental illnesses. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you've had mental illness before?
Me? Yeah, of course. Like I've been a victim of depression, so I know what it's like. Yeah, I've been living with anxiety, but I'm overcoming it slowly by slowly. And so this is like hope to everyone who's out there and who's listening. And one thing we need to understand is mental illnesses. If you're not going to discriminate on a person with malaria, it doesn't make sense to discriminate or make them feel like they don't need to speak out. Yeah, so we really need to do a lot when it comes to sensitizing, especially Africans, on mental illnesses and mental disorders. Some of them which can be cured at an early stage, but you see, when you ignore them, they like zinalipuka to a point of no return. So that's my plea to everyone. We should like really research, and people should really understand mental illnesses.
Halima, let me ask you now, since you're married, do you think you've gone through mental illness? Mental illness can be anything. It can be anxiety, it can be post-traumatic symptom disorder, it can be postnatal depression. It can be anything. So do you think you've gone through any, or do you think you're a victim, or how do you guys, kwanza nyinyi watu wazee, how do you perceive mental illness? You know, like venye ukiambia mtu ukiambia mtu mzee uko na mental illness, yanajua tu umechizi, you know.
Okay, according to my understanding of mental illness, I wouldn't say I have gone through it. I don't think I've reached that level, because I believe it starts with being depressed and not being able to control your emotions. Personally, I've not gone through it, but I know people who have gone through mental illness, and it has been serious to the point of being taken to Madare. So mental illness should not be taken for granted.
Okay. So nowadays, we're waking up to so many shocking incidences, ranging from people, including school children, who commit suicide, others murdering their loved ones. What do you think about that guy from Karura who murdered his family, you guys?
Personally, I will say maybe that is a disorder, because for you to get that courage and face your father with a machete or whatever blunt object that you want to use against your immediate relative, I would say that is maybe a total lockdown of your thinking, you no longer feel anything towards them. And maybe I think it's some sort of maybe disarray that has attracted to your mental well-being. And you just think that these people should not live. And a lot of things actually could be leading factors towards this case of mental unwell-being. Some of them could be things like that case of Karura could be, there were factors of horror movies. There are things to do with the...
But you guys, do you understand that parents are also messing up with our emotions? They are causing childhood traumas, Yani ukona too much grief. The more una grow, the more una hate. Because every day I wake up to my father beating my mother. Every day I wake up to, Yani, it's not even something, mi nasema out of experience. So at a point, I actually understood this guy. Like, nilikuwa na support.
Wait, okay. I wouldn't say that I support him, but what I would say is as much as maybe he'll be prosecuted and atakuwa imprisoned, it should not end there. It should be imprisonment and therapy. That's how we need to break this stigma. Yeah, mental. That's why the people with mental illnesses, they don't want to come out. So like that case of a while back, the case of Ivy, the guy who drove all the way from, was it Eldoret to go and hack. Yeah, you see, a case like that, that's not a normal person. I believe a normal person, where do you get the courage to drive for like more than 2 hours? You are thinking of doing something and there's nothing along the way inakufanya you switch back. So you see cases like that, mi nasemanga, after that there should be therapy, like seek be help. Hata kama anafungwa kukuwe na help. I would say I support the guy from Karura, but niko that's a mental illness, so I kind of have some sympathy for the guy, because that's a disease, that's a sick person.
If I will add something, there is a problem of this youth, these people who are immediately after teenagehood, they start to feel like they are young adults, that you cannot control them, and they tend to be, and then at that time their parents are also around people of around 40-50 years, who are also, by the way, approaching this scenario called I think it's something to do with midlife crisis or something.
Mm-hmm. Crisis.
So you get two forces that are fighting over mental illness at one go, and that's why maybe they tend to be a lot of pressure affecting you that age bracket, those age brackets of between 18-25, and parents of around 42, 47 up to around 50 years. My thinking
is that as a society, the way we bring up our children matters a lot. So you find that the current generation, we are trying to build our careers. We don't have time to spend with our children, know more about them, so we don't know what they consume, the people they hang out with, what they watch, what they know. So in that point, they get lost somewhere.
Have you guys done drugs?
When you say drug, do you mean hard drugs, like cocaine?
Like, what drug have you done apart from
alcohol.
Prescribed drugs?
Oh, just alcohol. Yeah.
Okay, me, I've done weed.
Mm-hmm.
It actually helps you. It actually helps you.
Mm-hmm.
You result to something that will help you forget about it. So you're high and you're quiet. Unajua at that time.
Masks the pain.
So after the highness goes down, you go back to square one again.
When will I ever go back to square one if I have lots of weed?
I don't think that's the solution.
Yeah, you see,
you need to talk
you need
it
to
out.
What's the problem?
Exactly.
The problem.
You talk to someone, na inakuwa ni kama I'm telling you too much about me, ama utachoka na mimi, unajua hata uko na vitu zako za kudeal nazo. So nakuja nakwambia unajua jana babangu alituchapa si wote kwa nyumba. unajua leo mamangu ataenda job kwa sababu amefura macho. You know, like you utachoka na mimi kwa sababu utashinda ukiniambia si report, nikwambie mimi mamangu alisema Mungu atatusaidia. You know, like unaboeka, you know, it's I am a passive victim. I am not the active victim, because let's say in this case the active victim is my mother. So if she can't report, there's nothing I can do. Kwa sababu mimi sijaumia, yeye ndo ameumia, na si mimi, na si yeye amereport. So huku nje ni kugumu. So je, mnaona watu wafanywe nini?
Mimi naweza kuadvise hivi, sometimes your friends are not the right people to talk to. They are very judgmental. That's why in most easy organizations mental health, talking to someone is actually free. Like, you know, haikwangi ati upe.
You know, unalipa 4,000.
No, like, you not 4,000, like
not
I don't know.
all.
I don't think I have to mention it
we
here.
Have even
but I know one that you can talk to, like just calling a person like a therapist mwenye ujuani, he will listen to you. Yeah, it's actually free. So me, I would advise you go to those channels. Sometimes marafiki ndio machui.
Unaona sasa nitaenda hiyo church, lakini before ni decide kwenda church, ujue imeni affect so much. So I have already decided to cut relationships with my family, you know. I am not even at peace, you know. I even have suicidal thoughts. So at the end of the day, I only have one best friend. Mary Jane.
But I think I agree with Caroline. Sometimes it's how we bring up our children. And if you say you resolve to drugs, they don't solve your problem. They just create another problem.
True.
Because in future you'll be fighting something different from what you're fighting now. What you're avoiding to solve now, it's going to give birth to another problem. Plus nowadays you get kids, like small kids in, let's say, teenagers. They're telling you, I'm depressed because I've been told not to watch TV, or my phone has been taken or something. And then with time, they start saying that they are mentally ill. As in, watoto wa siku hizi wana abuse history ya mental illness na kukua depressed. Kwani watu wa kitambo walikuwa na survive aje?
Ni wewe survive aje?
Okay, let me.
My parents were very hard on me, and when it is A. You cannot coil them Halima, to agree to something.
Okay, Halima, this is what I would say. Mtoto kulia or want to commit suicide juu amenyimwa simu, that's deep to them. That's their time. Those are their problems at this current state. You get? So me, I take it seriously. Hata ukiona mtoto anasema ati anataka kujioa juu girlfriend yake alimwangalia vibaya mali, hiyo ni shida yenye anapitia saa hii. You get? Times are changing and people are experiencing different experiences. So for me, I can't say it's really abusing mental health or mental vitu.
There are serious things that people can get.
True.
Hiyo ndo shida sasa ya watu wazee.
Yes, now kwao kwa huyo mtoto. You see, kwa huyo mtoto akikwambia ati amenyimwa simu is depressed. Yeah. To him hiyo ni shida kubwa kwake. That's his mental capacity.
Ikafikia hapo.
Kutoka
hapo. Akiwa mtu yeye alikuwa analilia sweetie, anapewa. That is corruption. Unafaa ulize mtu hii, mbona unalia? Shida iko wapi? Si ati analia unampea sweetie. You bribing that kid. Yeah. That's why anaanza kulia akinyimwa simu. Ana corrupt na kwa like ana try kuku blackmail. I'll kill myself if I don't get a phone. When did it get there? Hiyo sweetie. Hiyo kitu kidogo tu.
But me thinks maybe the way we perceive at sasa ati mtoto akililia ati anataka iPhone 12 the latest version, unampatia just because that utaki undergo mental health is a problem too. Kwa sababu this person and maybe mtoto mwenye anamuiga pale shuleni or some penye wanapatana, their parents are capable of including top of the range vehicles that they go school with. But wewe una struggle huko industry area kuhakikisha huyo mtoto amepata masomo mzuri. But yeye atambui anataka sasa ile mahali wewe ulifikia, that was before corona, ni iPhone 10 ulimbaia. now hata ijaspoil ijakaa 1 year we are in iPhone 12 anaitisha ingine.
Yes.
So kuna demands zingine kama mzazi you're not supposed to encourage.
But so, my point was we should not chukulia their problems as minor or inferior. Your habits, we need to discourage it. You see, from day one, like Nani has said,
which is why I'm saying it is all about parenting. Because
True.
Today you are a parent. Today you give birth to, let's say you have 5 kids. The way you provide for your firstborn is not the way you'll be able to provide for your lastborn. So you need to raise them in a way that your lastborn should understand that you are now old, you don't have enough money to do everything like you used to do for them before. So akiona hiyo aoneni kama anabaguliwa or something, he or she wants to compete with the firstborn or with the kids that came before when you had money and all that. Alafu ukimnyima anaanza kuleta to issues nini mara hataki kuongeleshwa, mara kidogo they are writing suicidal notes and all that.
Okay, for me I'll just go back to what Caroline said. It starts from the grassroots. Usi-encourage your behavior akilia atikulia ndio anapewa. That is the first thing you need to discourage. Ndio if you get to that point you need and that's why parents are being told now it's time to know your kids. Stay with your kids, yes. Wajue vizuri. Ongea nao, parenting, yes. Na hii culture yenye tuko nayo ya Kenya, yani holiday ikifika the first thing ni waende ushago waniondoke. That's very bad. By the way, your child will never know you.
Yeah.
Exact.
Wanaenda wanadekezwa na
exactly.
Grandparents.
Yeah, because the grandparent will spoil them. Sika wewe sasa.
But pia unajua ni the thoughts of many parents ikuange ati ni kuniondokea watoto waniondokea something, ni unataka pia walan hiyo maisha, hiyo culture of that society where you come from. Because mtoto umemzaa Nairobi, let's say these very cosmopolitan places, South Bay, where nobody is yani hakuna particular tribe iko na culture yao hapo. Hizo jamii zenye wameweza kulangata those areas, it is very difficult huyo mtoto kujua culture yao ni gani. Unakuta mtoto ni Masai, but anaona Masai mwenzake pale ule anatembea anamuita habari Masai. You get the point?
Yeah.
So there is a need for that child
to go to huko,
boy or girl, aende huko alan hizi vitu. As much as maybe yes, those parents that are perceived absentee, anakuja nyumbani 9 wakati wa news, mtoto ameshalala, ajai muona maybe from Monday to Friday, anamuona Saturday. Yes, it is wrong, but also usi disregard hiyo element ya kwenda ushago, inakuanga very valuable sana kwa
I know what my point was. The first hiyo mi point yangu ilikuwa kudiscourage hiyo ya kuchukulia watoto kama burden, hiyo ya kuwataka waende waniondokee. That's what I was trying to say when I brought that point. But your culture, I get you, but I'll go back to what Halima was saying earlier about parenting. Ni parenting too, day one when unamzoesha na vile unamfunza, and it plays a huge part to be close with your kids. Mimi nikigrow, this is from my own perspective, I knew that mzee akiingia toka hapo, you get, amwezi kaa sitting room with your dad ako hapo. I feel that those are toxic practices that we need to do with, as much as we need to preserve some of our nini, but I feel kuna zingine we need to let go. Because you see, hiyo kuonyesha it starts from an early stage. Hiyo mzee akiingia tokeni amwezi tuwezi kaa na nyinyi, there is this nini, that's how it starts. That's how the distance between the children even though inaendanga, that's how it starts. That's the genesis of it all.
Okay, so I think hiyo tunaongelelea watoto. Now I believe that we're all adults, like as we're here, and we've all gone through situations, stressful situations, such as financial problems. Unajua, uko broke, uko na loan, watu wa loan ndo wanataka ulipe, or a loved one's death. Do you think such things could impact your mental health.
Very much.
Yes.
True, very much. Yeah. But I guess it's how once it has happened, it's how you go on about it. It's how you treat it. My advice will be like that experience of like you've lost a loved one. The best thing will be acceptance, and kama unaona inakuaffect sana, seek professional help. Sometimes that's why I was saying sometimes talking to a friend is the worst thing you can ever do. That's my take.
So I just want you to understand why a person, a young adult, will resort to drugs, which is, it's just
a quick fix.
Yeah, and it's also a sign that your mental health is deteriorating. Because sasa what hata nikienda ni seek help anywhere, I have a lot of money. Where will I ever, if I've lost my mom, where will I ever get her?
You see, now that's what I was saying, acceptance. That is
sasa unaona tunaambiwa tufanye hivi, lakini I'll accept, nita try to move on, lakini unajua hata kama sijaketi na marafiki zangu, nimeketi na anyone else anaongelelea their mother, unadhani sitawai feel?
Probably you feel, but acceptance. That's
but
why
you see, the fact is you need to accept.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yes.
So it's either you control your emotions, you accept, or you stay in denial and continue being depressed. Yeah. Because totally there's nothing that can be done on this earth
to
bring back a
person.
loved one.
And
you should be ready to talk about it with people so that you can get help.
Once you accept it, it becomes easy even to move on. Anything. Equal death, equal breakup.
If you hold on to that mentality, I'll never get another mom, I'll never get another sister, you will always suffer. Utaishi na hizo machungu, probably. Accept it.
Okay, there are also traumatic experiences that cause mental illness. So I have a friend. I don't know if it is rape or it is, I don't know what to call it. So they used to get high with a friend of hers, and they used to have Molly. So every time after Molly makes you experience everything, yani ni kama una feel cries as much, like kama una feel ume uchungu kwa mkono, una feel cries as much, or you're quite alert. So she kept telling me, so after they get high, this guy would talk to her nicely. She's not there, but she's there. Talk to her, ana feel, anamuongelesha, anamuuliza kama kuna problems. Of course everyone akona problems. So the more anamwambia problems, the more ana feel nika uchali anasikiza sana, And after that they'd have sex. But it was only after they've had Molly. So I don't know what to call it. I really don't know what to call it. So every time akotuna, so from then alikuwa anatumia Molly sana. So from then yani amekuwa tu
dependent on it.
No, aliachana nayo lakini amekuwa yani ni kama like akisikia jina Molly analia, akifanya yani so nikapa like was it rape? She doesn't even know. And it wasn't once or twice or thrice. So bro.
Okay, so walikuwa natumia Molly as kujibamba ama ilikuwa, was she trying to hide something?
Alikuwa natumia, this guy used to give it to her. We'll have fun.
You see, that's taking advantage of someone. To make her hide, and take advantage, probably. So probably maybe your friend will hit that this guy was just using me. That's why akisikia Molly analia.
Na watu wame go through, watu sasa guys aged young adults yani especially firstborns wamepitia you know kwa sababu I have to carry the burden of my family. So nikiketi chini nikumbuke mamangu alikuwa anateseka sana, babangu alikuwa anafanya hivi na hivi yani So I feel like this generation especially of young adults has unspoken mental illness, you know. Cause awase lakini zingine ni za kujiekea, you know, but zingine ni za kujiekea
kama I don't know. For me, Mr. kusema hiyo ati amejiwekea.
Okay.
If somebody says I'm not okay, me I take it seriously.
Yeah, it's true, but enyewe hakuna kujiekea. I just don't understand, you know. But
it's probably it's maybe inaguzia thought process, how you process your thoughts.
But unadhani ni watu wangapi wako traumatic hapa tukisimama ama tufanye kitu hapa tutasema wewe si uko na trauma?
Yeah.
Si uko na yako? Halima si uko na yako? I think kila mtu si uko na so don't you think we are just a broken generation raising another broken generation to raise another broken generation?
I guess that's the problem. Like the cycle will never end. But so to end it, now we need to be more vocal about these mental illnesses.
But you see,
ati kujiwekelea ama nini.
But you see, in Kenya there's no awareness. You know, awareness is low. Na people don't take it seriously kwa sababu hata mimi nikizeeka nitasema tu huyu ni mwenda wazimu, amevuta bangi akakuwa mwenda wazimu. Unaona? So
but
ujui hata kwa nini alikuwa anavuta bangi
or what happened ndio ifikie hapo.
Ni kama watu wengi sana hawajui. Na pia
and you know sometimes you are not even let's say stressed or depressed, but your dependence on those drugs will affect your mental illness. You will find yourself that you're not able to do anything without taking something. So eventually you end up kichwa haifanyi umechizi.
Lakini pia kuna brain damage as a result of serious injury. You know, kama tuseme accidents. Most of them zinakuanga accidents, ndio? So watu watawai recover aje. Yani unajua ni inaniumanga tu yani feeling sad or down, confused thinking, excessive fears, mood changes. Hizi zote ni vitu normal, vitu obvious. And there are people who also get problems with alcohol or drug abuse, especially these guys, young adults. And there's also eating disorders. Njua, kuna watu wakiwa na stress. Personally, kama niko na stress, I overeat. Na kuna watu who lose appetite.
Like me.
So, kuna wengine, they get detached from reality. They're paranoid and they have hallucinations. Na kuna watu pia, their sex drive changes. Like maybe you were sexually active, you become sexually inactive, or you were sexually inactive and now you're sexually active. You know. Yeah. Why do you look confused? I'm sorry.
No, because from my point of view, I think it is very difficult for you to perform, especially sexual intercourse, when you have a disturbed mind.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if I've never had that scenario that
the opposite.
The opposite.
You become active.
Nikona stress, so I let it out on you.
Or you, maybe for a lady, it's possible to go out there to try and relieve yourself. You think maybe you are relieving yourself, or you are actually relieving
There are men who actually, you know, you just get any person, you unatolea stress up, and then later you unapata post-nut clarity.
Yeah, but maybe that one That one is
I like that. Post-nut clarity. Go on.
that one is maybe more of a psychological stress rather than hii yenye ya economic
Yeah.
ama ile kitu ya hii yenye inasumbua vitu kama hearts and feelings. So hiyo maybe ni a specific type of stress ndio unajaribu kucounter.
Unaona kama tuseme I think mtu ako na depression atatafuta happy place. Maybe your happy place is when you're having sex, you know. So hizi vitu hudifa zote pia zinaletwa tu na ni sign tu ya mental illness, na hivyo tu ndo manzi yako atakutoka ama chali yangu atanitoka, you know, because hey bro, I can't keep up. So you guys, what is your final say on this? What do you think about it? What do you think should be done considering mental health?
Okay, I think mental health is something that we should take seriously. Just like we've discussed here, it's an illness just like any other illness. Let us not ignore simply because it is passive. And as a society, we should be conscious of the people who are around us. If you realize that your friend or your neighbor or just someone that you know is starting to behave weirdly, you should get concerned. Maybe they have withdrawn, they are no longer talking to people, they are keeping to themselves. You should just try and find out what's going on and try and seek some help for them, or you can, if they're willing to speak it out, you can listen to them. Sometimes listening is just enough. Yeah.
Representing boy child, I think we still have a long way to go, because boys are not known to speak it out and letting people know what is affecting them really, and some of their stress and mental issues that are affecting them, they tend to keep for themselves, and eventually it eats them up. And maybe the best way to avoid this is to make sure you are not involved in things that are really disturbing your mind, trying to be at the right place at the right time, avoid drugs, at least do some activities for yourself, get yourself busy. Like they say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
What I will say is that as a society, we should not judge one another about this mental health issue. Let's not stigmatize anyone. You don't know tomorrow. You don't know if it could be you, your husband, your sister, your friend. Let us be kind. You don't know what the other person is going through. And since we cannot start from up there, let's start from home, from the family. I believe if we start that way, we can get somewhere and we'll reduce the mental health issue.
Well, yeah, for me it's all about, I think we should create more awareness on mental illnesses by educating people on, because unapata in most cases people don't know about mental illnesses. Like you see, she asked me about bipolar, what is it? So this is the kind of information like Kenyans need to have, that we have this mental illness, inafanyanga mtu abehave hivi na hivi. And then another thing is what Halima was saying about parenting. It should start hapo chini, because children are the future generation. If we are broken, doesn't mean that our children have to be broken. We can fix them for the future. Yes.
Thank you guys for participating and airing out your views. We should all seek help, and those students resulting to drugs and being rowdy is not the way. We should all seek help when you find yourself in such a situation. You can also engage with mental health advocates online. They have tips. They help you to understand your issues. And plus, at times a stranger online can actually help you because they don't know you, So you might, if you feel embarrassed, you might seek help. Yeah. In Kenya, mental health is also underfunded. There is no separate budget for mental health. The country has approximately 100 psychiatrists for a population of about 45 million people. So what I'm saying is that there are very few psychologists and medical social workers who are centered in treating mental illness. So yeah, those out there seeking help or want to help people become better people, you can continue studying for it, you can pursue it. Things will eventually fall into place. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking your time to participate. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Follow me on social media at Stories with Kendi, and you can also listen to my YouTube audios at Stories with Kendi. Thank you.